This session is called A to Z of a tree walk because I thought we have talked about what makes a great tree walk, how to do a good tree walk, but I have not shared, or we have not taken the effort to share everything one needs to do to conduct and organize a tree walk from starting to end. So we thought we'll share that in one session in a composite manner. And sorry, I'll also be just admitting more people as they join. All right. So, to begin with, I will of course talk about Season Watch. For those who don't know, or even for those who know a revision, Season Watch is a citizen science project that works all over India. It deals with the seasonality of trees to understand the impact of climate change. And in short, climate change is affecting seasons, and seasons govern the life cycle of trees in respect of their leaves, flowers and fruits, and when these flowers and fruits are put out is changing because of climate change. So we're trying to monitor these trees to understand how they're changing throughout the years and comparing them to multiple years, and that will give us a pattern of how climate change is affecting trees and everything that is dependent on trees. So this project looks at 171 tree species all over India. These are very common species that are very easy to identify, that are found almost everywhere in India, and everyone has access to them mostly. And how it works is through weekly observation. So trees are very slow to change, right? So observing them once every week suffices to understand how the changes are happening and what is the timing of these changes. So there are weekly observation which are called regular observation, but there are also one-time observations wherein if you're traveling to some place and you cannot go to that place again every week thereafter, you can just make one time observation to take a snapshot of how that tree was behaving on that particular day in the time. And this data is collected by using Season Watch Android application or directly through website. And we want more and more people to engage with the project, to make use of it as a tool to engage with trees, and to be interested in trees, and to also contribute to this climate change study, and to motivate this engagement or also to empower this engagement. We do tree walks, we do workshops, we share infographics that tell people about trees, that sort of show how amazing trees are. And we also do tree festivals that engage people at least for some time in the project and with trees. And that brings me to the upcoming March Tree Festival that we will announce very soon, sort of announcing it right now. It begins on 15th March and ends on 24th March. So it's a 10-day festival where it's a competition actually. So people can compete with each other with different states across India. And we'll also announce winners from two categories, individuals and schools. And there are three challenges to make things exciting and to make the competition a bit varied. The three challenges are 100 not out, wherein you have to observe 100 trees of the 171 season watch species in the 10 days of the festival. It's quite easy. People go out and do like 500 observations in the 10 days. So we get amazing participation through this challenge. It also allows you to look at any tree that is around you and that is on the list with Season Watch. Another challenge that we have, especially for summer, is the Scarlet Summer, wherein you can look at these five individuals or five species and different individuals of these species in your area, and see if they're flowering right now. And the third challenge is the leaf flush, wherein we look at the new leaves that trees are putting out, and we selected 8 species to notice this. And the more observations you make for these challenges, the more likely you are to win, and the more observations that come from a state make that state the winner of this festival. And this festival is a celebration of trees in general. So we also try to conduct as many tree walks as possible in the 10 days. That is, we have 2 weekends. So that's 4 days of as many tree walks as possible. We also do workshops. That is the current workshop is also a part of March Tree Festival in a sense. And we also put out some resources during this time. So it's a celebration of trees overall in any way that you can celebrate. And I hope that you will be able to participate and make your state a winner this time. Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra are in tough competition. Kerala almost always wins, but I hope that other states also represent themselves in this data henceforth. So coming to the tree walk part of this workshop, I have broken it down in some 4 to 5 steps that can be interchanged in the sequence, but in general, it goes from starting with deciding the goals of your tree walk. So once you have a specific agenda for your tree walk, it becomes easy to channelize your energy and the resources that are available to you and use them and decide on what information you want to share. So these goals can be general goals, wherein you want people to just come and share their stories about trees and share some practices in which they use trees, etc. They can be event specific also. For example, it's summer now, so you call spring now, so you could focus on how the trees have put out new leaves and how some of them have fruits still. So you can just look at the seasonality of the trees, or you can look at the various colors that trees exhibit, and they're not just always green, right? So you can customize these goals according to your creativity and your own observations of your surroundings. Second part is the Reiki. So reconnaissance survey is the full name of this. Reiki is when you go to a place and you familiarize yourself with that place. And learn different aspects so that you're prepared and you feel at home when you do a tree walk and lead more people in that location. Then comes the preparation. So I'll also break this down into some points that can be useful. Um, then outreach. So once you've decided on the event and you've created some material and you want to tell people that you have to come for my tree walk, so that's what outreach entails. And lastly, the actual tree walk. So we have done a webinar before wherein 5 experts shared the best practices that they have followed and learned through their experiences on how to do a very nice tree walk. But I mean, that's in another session, and I'll share a link to that recording sometime in the chat box. And I'll also share in very brief some very standard basic good practices for doing a tree walk. So with that, I think I want you all to tell me what you think makes for a good tree walk. So please put in your answers into this Mentimeter link, and it's a word cloud, so you can write in your answers. And okay, let me write. So you can put in 3 words that you think make a good tree walk, and we have a minute to do that. Can you all see the link, and are you able to put in your responses? Okay, so this is what we're seeing. I hope you can see the word cloud. Engaging seems to be in the center. Chirag, there's a link that I've shared. Let me just share it again. It's a Mentimeter. We are creating a word cloud that tells us what makes a tree walk great or fun or engaging. So you can open that link and you can type in 3 words that you think are necessary for making a great tree walk. Like, I think we have all the responses. And knowledge, engaging, location, descriptive, lifestyle. Participative, enjoyable, good mentor, outreach, feel connected, flexibility. Yes. Guide. Okay, these are some really nice responses. Thank you all so much. I don't think you need this webinar, guys. But okay, let's still get on with it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And okay, so I will start with setting goals. For me, I think whenever I have done tree work for Season Watch, the main goal is to ignite interest and curiosity about trees. People, you might have heard of this term called plant blindness, where we literally are trained or untrained to look at trees. And so the idea is to make people look at trees and show them the details and the nuances that trees have. And it's not all just the same. They don't look all the same, right? So I think that the information about the trees are vital goals for conducting a tree walk. And it also provides, it's a nice idea to show people different ways of observing trees. For us, I think Season Watch is a really, really good, engaging, simple yet effective tool to observe trees. And that is definitely a very major goal for me when I conduct tree walks. And another thing that I've noticed works really well is sharing stories and experiences. So allowing people to share their stories and experiences, their memories with trees, the games that they played, or the practices they follow in their respective cultures, or the names even that trees have in their languages. That makes for a good exchange of information, and everyone is participating in it. And I think that is also should be one of the goals, to create a space where people can share and talk about trees like complete nerds, and nobody will judge them for that. So can you think of some more goals for a tree walk? You can put them in the chat box, or it could also be an exercise for yourself to figure out. After our goals are set, we go on doing the preparation. So first thing, of course, is the location. You all mentioned how important the location of the tree walk is. Then comes the Reiki, the date and time for your tree walk, event outreach, and knowing the audience that will be attending your session. So that's how these are the steps that you follow for preparing for a tree walk. We begin with location. The location has to be easy to access. It has to be open for all. Otherwise, it becomes a hassle for the resource person or the guide to get people the entries, or to manage how people can reach there, etc. So the location needs to be very, very convenient for everyone. The location should have a good diversity of trees and plants, and it should be, a pleasant place where you do feel good when you spend 1 or 2 hours there. And good diversity also, because when there are multiple kinds of trees and plants around you, you have a lot of scope for talking about different things, and you don't end up repeating the same thing, or you don't go on walking for a stretch of the distance without having anything new to add to the walk, right? So that's also why good diversity of trees or plants is essential. The walk needs to be short and easy walk. So about a kilometer of walk is, I think, comfortable for everyone. We don't even end up covering a kilometer in my experience, but I do a Reiki for a kilometer and then walk as much as we can during the actual event. So it needs to be an easy walk. If there is a trek or a little bit of hiking or climbing, then that needs to be mentioned specifically in the outreach, or the advert that you put for your event, so that people are prepared for it. It should be safe from traffic. I'm sure people who want to just stand and look up at trees get honked at a lot. You might have experienced that. So we don't want that happening at our location. We want it to be away from the noise and the traffic and any kind of hazard that people just standing in a location looking, focusing only on trees can face. So safety is a very important aspect of selecting a location. Once that's selected, the date and time also become vital. Weekends are ideal because most people have time and they're looking for nice things to do on weekends. So we are in, and we make use of that. Mornings and evenings are ideal because it's not very harsh. It's a usual regular time for a walk, so it's a great time when people are almost fresh to take in all the information you want to share. Even if you do a walk on the weekdays, early morning or after office in the evening is also a good time. So date and time is thus decided for your walk. Location Reiki. Again, when you go to a location, these are some points that we should be mindful of or make a note of. Entry and exit points. So they should be very easy to follow. when you decide on an entry point, while you are at the location, make sure that you put a pin on your Google Map and save that link to be shared with the participants later, so that you don't have to guide people on the day of your tree walk, um, so that they can reach your venue. Right, so sharing this Google Map link has been a game changer for me, has been a savior. The route of the walk, so it's very very essential that we decide what way we are going to take in the location. If it's a park, then you decide if you're going to stay on that walking track, or if you're going to take a nice meandering walk on the lawn between the trees, etc. Whatever you choose to do, make sure that the route is fixed in your mind, and you are not when you reach the venue, then it's not happening, you don't know where to start and which tree to go first, right? So having that route figured out and having a mental map in your mind really really helps, and it also makes you come across as confident and in the know of the place, so that also makes the participant more comfortable with you and have faith in every information that you'll share hereafter. The requirements of the walk. So it's a good practice to tell people to wear comfortable shoes. If the place has a lot of mosquitoes or is likely to have mosquitoes or thorns, ask them to wear full clothes, covering clothes, etc. And some other requirements can also be shared, like they have to carry water, maybe some light snack, etc. So whatever you feel would be good and comfortable and fun for people to do, please mention those requirements or make a note of those requirements while you do the location Reiki. The biodiversity. So other than plants, we also should note maybe spiders or some nest or any permanent structure that you may see at the venue, because then you get more material to talk about. You can talk about the interactions, you can talk about, if you can identify those creatures, then you can also tell what they are, and make the walk a little more diverse and engaging in that sense. I also like to make a storyline of what all I want to share. They can be in like bullet points that I want to talk about. For example, if it's a park, then I want to. Sorry, I got distracted by these visions. So for the storyline, I like to decide what I want to share with people. I like to talk about the original habitat of that region, what it was like, what kind of forest would be growing here before it was cut down and made into a park or a society or whatever. Then I like to talk about the native, exotic, invasive species. And I like to talk about the plant-animal interaction. So whatever you feel is a good idea or a relevant point to introduce during that particular walk in that location with the diversity that exists there, that's a good idea. At the same time, we should also avoid loading information. So a lot of new concepts and a lot of information is cumbersome for us also to deliver and people also to receive. So make sure it's well placed, and it also has scope for other people to tell in. For example, you can ask questions when you are when you're giving out information, right? You can ask for anecdotes, etc. Next is event outreach. So once you are ready with your date and time, location, a link to the entry point, you do the outreach or you tell people that you are doing a tree walk, and you do it with the help of an event poster, because then you can very easily share all of this information at one glance on varied social media platforms. So this is a very beautiful poster that Sanjog has made. I hope he is in the audience now. But you see, this has a nice picture. It has good relevant colors. It has a name for your tree work. You can do that as well. A very well-defined date and time, location, a link that would lead to more information or registration for the walk. It also mentions that there will be no charge and the limit of participation, so that people don't come and complain that I wanted to come but it's full, etc. And there's a contact detail for people to reach out if they want to clarify things or ask more information or mention that they won't be able to come. It also has links or logos that support and collaborate for this walk. So these are good components for an event poster to have. A registration form is of really good help, because then you get all sorts of information about people. Let me show you one registration form that I have made for our previous walk. Correct. I hope you can see the form. This is the registration form that we had made for a tree walk. So I like to make a banner, but it's not a must. It just makes people make the form look friendlier, I feel, and it gives you more information at one glance. So it's about a tree walk, the date and the location of your event. So it also has a brief introduction to what this form is about, where it's going to happen, the date and time, and a contact for more details, and some instructions. Also, that it's free of charge. So it should collect an email ID, name of the registrant, contact number so that you can reach out to them, age because we want to make our information age appropriate. I also like to know if there will be any children accompanying people, so that we can also think of some activities or some children-friendly information to share during the walk. And more information about the children. And I also like to know if people have attended a tree walk at this venue before, so that when they come and when the tree walk is going on, then then the people share that in the previous time they came here, they saw this tree, and then you can also maybe take them to that tree or ask them what they learned about that tree, etc. So it just helps to make the walk more engaging. And it's also a good idea to know what people expect from this tree walk so that you can again use this anecdote or information to cater or to modify your storyline or the strict script that you prepare for your tree walk. And it can actually make people feel accommodated in the information that we share. Right. Okay, going back to the presentation. So that's about the registration form. And once that form is ready, you can share the link with your poster, or you can also make a QR code that goes to the link and then put that on your poster like Sanjog has done here. And yes, and then that's how people get in touch or register for your event. And that also makes you keep a track of how many people are going to come. You can close the registration when a good number is reached so that not more people show up. It's a good idea to keep the cap for 5 to 10 people more than what you want to accommodate in your walk. For example, if there are 15 participants that you are expecting, then maybe close the forms when you have 20 to 25 registrations, because there will be dropouts. There will be some people who won't be able to attend the event on the day. So then it's good to have more people that are able to register. A confirmation message that goes out, something like this, that tells people that, okay, whatever they gave, the information that they gave. Somebody is unmuted. Can you please mute yourselves? It's Susmita Basu.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's okay, no problem. All right. So this is a message that I had sent out for one of the tree walks. So it says thank you for registering, which tells people that the registration is successful and confirmed. The event details, the meeting point, like I said, we have to collect a map point so that people can navigate and come very conveniently there, and you don't have to attend calls before the tree walk begins. There are also instructions and a contact if there are more people that can help you out on the event and managing the crowd, etc. And some nice emojis to make it more engaging. A reminder message like this, a confirmation message could also be in the registration form. So when you submit the form, you see one message, thank you for registering or whatever, right? So that also could be a confirmation message. You can also customize that form to send an email directly to the registrant without you having to do anything. So, automate that thing. Or you can also send a confirmation message on WhatsApp later on and a reminder message a day before your event. You can also create a feedback form in advance that will tell you how people received your event. So a feedback form can look something like, I'm sorry. All right. So feedback form can look something like this. So again, it has a colorful banner. The feedback form can actually be anonymous so that people don't feel they feel more comfortable sharing what they felt about the tree walk. This is how you can ask how the experience was. Overall experience, you can make it a scale, or you can just type some words, or whatever feels comfortable to you. What did you like? What people liked about the event, or what they feel could be improved or done differently? And you can ask about how the resource person was. Were they easy to follow? Was information good enough for them? And some information like, would they like to attend more tree walks? Would they recommend such tree walks, etc.? And then you can also ask some other questions about, maybe do more comments or send more, give me more information about how your experience was, etc. So then that tells you how you were received, how the information or the plan that you made for your event worked out for the people. And once all of this is ready with you, then you start out putting out the posters on social media, through mailing list, or through word of mouth. So I mean, Season Watch and I will also help you spread the message about your event. So please feel free to share your posters with us once they're ready. So know your audience. That is very, very important. We ask so many questions in the registration form for people, for us to know what kind of people will be attending the tree walk. So the age group, what level of knowledge people already have, what they do or what are their interests, and what are the expectations from the tree walk. These questions that we ask in the registration, they tell us how we want to go about, what do we want the level of our tree walk to be, etc. So please pay attention to this information. Go through your audience responses once before you decide, and before you prepare the script and the storyline for your tree walk. And so this was a tree walk where children came, and then thankfully there were two resource people. So one of them led the adults and one of them led the children, and we did some really fun activities with the trees nearby. So that also can be done. So if you have a lot of children coming for your event, then you can have another person who can do some activities with the children separately, because children won't like to just stand in one place and listen to your information. So it has to be, engaging and catering to all sorts of age groups and people with what information they come with. So that just helps you how to go about making your session most effective. Some good practices that I said I will share. So all the information that you want to share on your event in your tree walk should be from verified, reliable resources. It shouldn't be that, this is from some WhatsApp forward that you don't know the source of, and you're still telling the information to others. Bad information is, or unverified information is, a really, really bad idea to give out with something, in something like a tree walk, right? So please make sure that every information that you have has some source, or it comes from a good book or some website that has trained and qualified people putting out information. Second is, we must reach the venue before the participants, so that you get some time to immerse yourself in the venue, to maybe do one small JK before you take the participants on the walk. You might even find something new that you want to introduce, so you can get to collect some material like some seeds or pods or whatever you would like to show the participants later on. So it's a really good idea to reach at least 15-20 minutes before participants arrive, and wait at the entry point where where you've asked people to come, so that they see you and then you introduce, and then that's where you can start your tree walk. So fix the route for your tree walk. I mentioned it again. I mean, I mentioned it before, so I won't go in the details now. In the panel discussion that we did before, the panelists shared that carrying a binoculars or magnifying glass is a really good idea, especially if you have children coming in, or if you are looking at something like fig flowers and fruits or anything. So it's a great engaging tool, and a bigger, nicer, immersive experience for people if you have tools like that. Um, then we, instead of just talking for the 1 to 1.5 hours that we do the walk for, it's also a good idea to ask people some questions. Let them speak, let them share their experiences. That also takes some stress off you and gives you some breathing space when other people are engaging, and you also learn some new information from people. Such activities like exchanging stories, etc., can be added. Activities could also be like maybe a little bit of journaling, or hugging a tree. That's also a great activity that I have not tried yet in my walks, but I've heard amazing things when people do them on tree walks. So such activities also allow you to make people engage more than just listening and sharing and talking. And it also makes it for a more memorable experience, and the information is more likely to be retained later. The participant feedback that you get after the event, use it for your next session. Make use of or modify your approach or methods accordingly. And it's a really good idea to record your experiences, maybe write it down, or photos, or make a photo story, or write down your learnings, or in any form that you can record how you felt, or what you felt worked, or what you felt did not work, or you could have done better, or some tips that you find, discover yourselves while you do the tree walk. It's a really good idea to record them. Maybe make a blog post out of it, or just keep, a diary for yourself. And make use of these experiences, because they're actually quite precious, especially if you're going to do this for a long time. And if you want more to train other people also to do tree walks or anything, so just please record your experiences and learnings. Don't rely entirely on the people's feedback, is all I'm trying to say. So why are, or what are we here for? So through Season Watch, we can provide some sort of guidance and training for conducting tree walks. So if you feel like, I have very happily gotten some calls from people saying that they're interested in doing tree walk, but they don't know where to begin, or they just need a pep talk, so this training, guidance, and motivation is something that we are very happy to provide. Tree identification. So we have various resources and WhatsApp groups and other experts to help you with identifying the trees at your venue or around you whenever. So just for you to learn more about trees, we'll be very happy to help you with that. We can also share some poster templates and some registration form, feedback form templates, whatever you need for your outreach. Publicity and in just spreading the word about your event is something that we'll be very happy to do. We have a good community on almost all social media platforms, on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter. So we'll be very happy to share your posters, and you can add us as collaborator. And I feel that when we have a bigger, more known entity collaborated with us, that makes people more likely to attend the tree walk. For example, in Pune, we collaborate with the Rupa Rahul Bajaj Center for Environment and Art, RRBCA, and they have a good presence. They're also improving their presence here. So when we conduct a tree walk with them, the tree walk gets full in like 2 days. So that really helps us to have a collaboration like that with somebody who is known, and that has some sort of assurance that this will be a good event. And they also have their own audience that the event will then reach to, and then you won't have to worry about gathering people for your event. Right, so some resources from Season Watch are these pocket guides, which have 35 commentaries across India with very beautiful illustrations of leaves, buds, flowers, and fruits, and a little bit of information about all of these aspects. And they're available in English and 4 Indian languages, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, and Marathi. And these are available only for educators for now, but you can download the soft copies from our website. I'll share the link to that as well. We also have some very beautiful books, of course, that you can refer to. You can take a screenshot maybe of this slide. And also this recording will be up on YouTube later on for you to refer to. But these are some good websites that you can go to for information and identification of your trees. And these books are also quite helpful. Lastly, I mentioned you might have seen the India Tree Walks Network on the first slide. So this was started in 2022. And it's a network of tree walk resource people. So people not just those who love trees, but those who are sort of expert in various ways and who want to lead tree walks. And we created this network so that we could do the synchronized tree walks across India that we really aim to do. And it works on WhatsApp through a WhatsApp group. Or if you don't want to be a part of WhatsApp group, we can also provide you emails and give you email updates. And the use of this group has been made to promote events, get plan information and identifications. and also tips and support for conducting tree walks. So if you'd like to attend or be a part of this network, if you are not already a part of this network, I'll also share the registration link to that. And I think with that, we come to the event, end of the event, I mean. And I saw this really beautiful quote on Instagram. And it says, your purpose is not the thing you do, it's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. So I think that holds true, especially for tree walks. Especially when people say, how can I lead a tree walk? I don't know much about trees, or I've not studied botany, or I don't have much experience, etc. If you love trees and you can share that love with people, and if you can inspire people, that's all that is needed to do, and information is, just exchange of uh, some anecdote or some discovery somebody did. It's not like we come up with our own information. You can just read it somewhere and share that with people later on. So it's not needed that you have some sort of qualification or some experience to lead a tree walk. What is needed is that you feel passionately and about trees, and you want to just spread that and inspire people and just do something about and for trees, right? So I hope this quote is more inspiring than the whole session, and I would be very happy to take questions if you have any. You can maybe raise your hands and unmute yourselves and ask if you have any questions, or even suggestions and feedbacks are great. Is there any tree walk conducted in Punjab? We don't have any I haven't come across any event in Punjab yet. But I did see some people have joined the India Tree Walks network, and I hope you will be conducting tree walks, Chirag, soon in Punjab. So I think that's my answer to your question. Devjit, yes, the link to WhatsApp. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right. Okay, let me share some links now. So if you would like to be a part of the India Tree Walks network, here is the link. It's a form. We want the information of people who are resource people. So it's a registration form basically. And please fill it out, and you will receive an email with the link to the WhatsApp group. If you don't, you can just drop me a message, and I will make sure that you receive that link. And okay, Sita has a question. Whom should we reach out to help with tree ID post our Reiki? So you can get in touch with people who know about trees, or you can also make use of the WhatsApp groups that we have. You can also INAT the observation, or upload it on iNaturalist, which is again a citizen science um, initiative. It works all across the world, and there are experts on that website who help you identify your trees. There are also Google Lens actually works quite well, especially if you have flowers and fruit photos to identify your trees, but it again needs a bit of verification and a proofreading to what it tells you. And again, there are some books and floras and websites that you can use, Sita. I had shared, maybe I'll put it out again. That page that I had shared with a lot of resources is something that can be used. Right. So these Jungle Trees of Central India, Delhi Trees of Delhi by the same author, are some really, really good books for trees, especially for you to begin learning about trees and also identify your trees. Okay, so I'll also share the link to the WhatsApp groups. It is a Google Drive folder which has the QR codes that will show you the links to respective groups. But you can also head to Season Watch's link tree, and you'll see all sorts of information that we put out. Let me just share with you the link. Okay, so we have state-wise WhatsApp groups also, and you can add yourselves to the state that you live in so that you get regional level information. Let me Okay, so this is state-wise WhatsApp groups. Okay, other than that, we have some really nice resources, um, like pocket guides and some activity sheets, some quizzes, some Phase guides, etc. This is the page where you'll find all of these links and files. What else do I share with you? Yeah, I think that's all. So if you also head to Season Watch's link tree, that should also give you all the links that we share. And if you do use Instagram and Facebook, um, we share all of this information all the time on the social media. So please follow us for updates and resources and even help for tree identification will be. In fact, you can send your photos for us to ID, and we will try to help you in our best capability. How to get the printed pocket guides for participants? Okay, so here's the link tree to Season Watch, and link to the pocket guides is right here. This is for the English pocket guides. They're for sale. They're for a nominal 35 rupees per copy. And if you are an educator or if you conduct tree walks in regional languages, or if you'd like to get pocket guides that are in Hindi, in Marathi, Tamil, and Malayalam, you can fill in this pocket guides in Indian languages. Right. And I mentioned that there was a panel discussion done with 5 panelists. If you would like to access the recording of that, it's here. We will be putting out the recording of this session as well. But that will take some time, so please wait. And if you give us a follow on the social media, we will be sharing it there. Um, and you'll be able to access it. If not, just feel free to write to us. I will again display, excuse me, our handles and all sorts of. Can you see my screen, the resource page?
No, Sai.
Okay, can you see it now?
No.
Sorry. Let me try again. Okay, maybe you should be able to see it now. All right, thank you. Right, so these are all our handles, and you can reach out to us on any of these platforms. We're quicker to reply on Instagram especially and WhatsApp, but you can also email us or tag us on Facebook or Twitter. Okay, let me see the chat box again. I think, Chirag, to answer your question about the first tree for beginners, I think Jungle Trees of Central India is a really good book. And it is written, the person is not a trained botanist, so it doesn't have a lot of technical information. And I feel it's a very romantic book about trees. So I love reading it. And I think it's a great starting point to learn about trees. Although it talks about trees that are deciduous, especially found in the central part of India, they're also found in other states as well. So it should be applicable to many parts of India. Yes, so the book name is Jungle Trees of Central India by Pradeep Kishan. I've typed it. Oh my God. Sorry. It went to a personal message. Okay, here. All right, Suchi, thank you for attending and for joining the TreeWorks network. Okay, again, going up in the chat box. My God, this is so hectic. A workshop dedicated to desert plant. That is a really good idea. I think that's what we will do next with our India TreeWorks network. We will ask experts from different regions of India to conduct a workshop introducing common plants in their region. And thank you so much, Bhavya, for that idea. And we'll definitely work on that. Hmm. Devjit, the ideal number of participant depends on how comfortable you are. I think 20 to 25 is a good number of participants once you have a bit of experience, but you can also begin with maybe 5 to 10 participants. So it depends on how big the space is also. You don't want to take a lot of people in a small space that has very narrow paths to walk maybe. But like Susmita Basu mentioned, not more than 20 is a good number to keep in mind, I think. Practical example of Chirag, sorry, I missed what this was about. A practical example of and some incident that I could share. I don't know about any books in UK, but will you write to us on any of these platforms? I'll try to find out some books and share with you, Pravina. What are the career options to pursue in this field? Oh. Well, you can be an educator, I think, nature educator, or people even charge for conducting these tree walks after a point, and you can earn from that. So I think that's a good career option. Thank you for that feedback, Ashok. Thank you for joining. Rupsana has asked, animals are plant species getting extinct too? Can we say that? Oh, of course. There are so, in fact, hold on, just let 1 second. I'll turn on some light. Sorry about that. Yes, in fact, I think there is not much data on plant population, so we don't even know how many plants are going extinct. But the ones that are especially recorded, like the plants that are used in medicines or some plants like sandalwood maybe, which have a lot of use, they have data, and that indicates their declining population. And IUCN Red List is a good site to check out the population status of some plants. It doesn't have information on all plants out there, but yes, plants too are going extinct. In fact, more rapidly because of habitat loss and destruction. You can definitely mention that in your tree walks. The distribution maps for trees like we get for birds. Yes, again, IUCN tells you maps of distribution, IUCN Red List, but you can also get a general distribution from links that I had mentioned before. Like, for example, the Flowers of India mentions where the trees found in India. India Biodiversity Portal also mentions the states in which some trees are found. Even the digital flora that is created by, I think, IISc, they also have information on distribution maps. And another fantastic website to learn about the habitats and the trees that are found in those habitats is ERA India. So I'll share all of these links with you. You can also refer to these for learning what plants are found where. Mm. Okay, I think I've covered all the things in the chat box. So Smita, we cannot extend tree watch to plant watch because we are gathering data from past 13 years and counting, and we have a lot of data on trees now. So you can also explore the season watch explore page, which shows you what this data tells and what we learn so far. But if you want to document herbs or other kinds of biodiversity and plant diversity, then I would suggest using iNaturalist.org. You can also upload photos of your finds there. And there are people, like I mentioned before, who can identify these plants for you. So if you would like to contribute the biodiversity of your region or wherever you travel to a global platform that documents biodiversity, iNaturalist is a really, really good option. And I think every naturalist out there uses iNat and eBird like they use for birds. So even iNat is a good platform. BSI has several digital books, among which some beautiful trees of Calcutta. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Susmita. Thank you so much for joining and making this a successful session. This is the first time we're doing a session that talks about the whole process of conducting tree walks. And thank you for the good response and staying till the end, and for all of your interaction during the session. Thank you.